All right, here we are, guys. Back for a tutorial. And it's probably going to be beneficial for you to put something with good distance, good top spin. So, big dog it is. Thor's hammer. Looks pretty good. And I got my Kingmaker on, so depending on the wind they give us. If it's a tailwind, you can play this a couple different ways. Otherwise, we're essentially set up to, I'm not going to be able to go the aggressive way, which would be to try to go to that second fairway, which it doesn't look like they're giving us a wind to do that anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's kind of moot. Nobody will be going to that other side. What did I put it on? 2 top spin here. Looks probably pretty good. And we're not going to do any power or anything. It's kind of 5 rings here. A little bit of an overcorrection. So just lay it up here towards the top half of the fairway, and then we'll just try to beat it up here as far as we can on the second shot and try to hold out for a long eagle. So this one's going to be definitely a little bit of a challenge to get in the expert tournament. Looks like our third shot will be mostly a headwind. A little bit of an angle to it. .8. We're going to try to land relatively on the north edge here. So as long as I can keep it somewhere right around here, I'm pretty happy. So I'm going to pretty much use pretty full power, right about 3-ish rings, somewhere right in here. As I mentioned, relatively full on the power. I might just come in just slightly, just to hopefully hone in on that perfect ball. There you can see I did grade it, and without some precision there, you might put yourself in the rough when you're using a big dog. So there you can see I'm able to get it up there. The farther towards that bunker you get it, the easier the third shot's going to be. Another thing you can do to make your life a little bit easier, especially for the second shot, would be to bring a higher power ball, Berserker, or Royal Ball or something of that nature. So that one looks pretty good. Threaded it up through there as well. So you'll see completely 2 different angles here, and the approaches will be just a little bit different. So here you can see I'm getting towards max club a little bit. I usually, in headwinds like this, probably add on to the adjustment that I wouldn't usually normally do. So somewhere right in here, maybe 3.7. Ideally, I'd like to land on this green, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We'll see. I got to make sure that it's close. It's really close. So I might try to. See how it goes. 3.7. So we'll have to do it on the second. on the next shot. I'm playing extremely slow today. I'm not really sure why. But ever since switching from expert, not to mention the needle's slower, so I can't necessarily, I didn't have that extra pass that I wanted. But I wanted to try to get perfect ball here so I can at least put together a decent guide for you guys. I'm probably not doing revisions. I really don't see any use for them. You'll see, how I would play the holes. And, so far, there's nothing that I would do differently. So, you guys are more than capable enough to handle that. So this is only a 1/10 difference. I'm just going to add 1/10 to my ring adjustment, and we're going to do this same thing here. This time I'll go 3.8. Instead of needing to swap that, that's what I'm going to do. I try to kind of max out at this much backspin. I don't like to use any more than this. So here you can see we're going to have that third hop relatively close to the edge of the cup. And as I mentioned, 3.8 this time instead of 7, so right here. And definitely kicked off towards the left. I don't know if it, might have hit that fringe surface. In any regard, it's starting to get a little bit too close to the fringe. You probably want to, at all costs, pretty much avoid, the complication of being in between surfaces. So hopefully you guys can get a little bit better landing area than I did. But I'd really like to get on the green with the arrow if I can. And I also want to, refrain from putting too much backspin on to where it won't roll out. So I was trying to be a little careful, make sure that I don't go beyond 3 there. So that's why I was doing what I was doing. Hopefully you guys can get maybe just a little bit longer or shorter to where you can kind of set up away from that fringe surface there. So good luck, and I'll see you guys on the next hole.